7% of all high school athletes go on to play in college. As proud members of the 93% that didn't, this is Fratletes.
Alrighty, everyone. Welcome to episode 5 of Fratletes. I know you guys are super excited because it is giveaway time. We have hit our 100 follower mark. Not only have we hit the mark, we have absolutely blown past it. So, all 146 of you guys that have followed us, I believe that's what we're at right before we do this live.
146.
Live, we will do this, but it'll release on Saturday. As we pick the winner, we will DM them, and Zach, I bet you can just like edit out the part where I count down or whatever to the number, whatever it is. But
Yeah.
we're gonna pick a random number throughout our Twitter list and go to whatever number it is. So best of luck to everyone, and we will DM the winner. YouTube is doing great. Thank you guys, everyone that follows and listens. It means the world to us. At the end of the day, like we said, we're just doing this for fun. Zach, you guys got anything before we get into this giveaway?
No, I think a reminder that this is not the last giveaway. We'll be doing another $50 gift card giveaway at 250, and since we're at 146, that's literally just 104 more followers. So maybe in the next 2 weeks, you could win $50 by simply clicking a button. I know people are lazy. That's all you have to do is, okay, click on Fratletes and then click follow. It's as simple as that.
We're not asking for interactions or anything. That's a bonus. We want you guys to like the content if you like it. I mean, we're not going to sit here and beg you guys to like our stuff, shout us out, whatever. That's not us. We're doing this for fun. If you think we're funny and you want to give us a like or retweet, that's awesome. We love that. If you don't, go on with your day, man. We're not going to judge you. It's not the end of the world. But with that being said, I think we should get started on our first giveaway. Like Zach said, 250 followers. That'll be number 2. At the rate we're going, I mean, everyone just keep following. It's awesome seeing how much support we're getting. Everybody shouting us out. It's truly, it means the world. And to be able to hit 100 within a month of doing this, I mean, that's pretty awesome to us. So
Really
thank you
awesome.
guys. Thank you guys once again.
All right, I got the random number generator up. We got 1 through 146, and 59 is the number. So here we go.
Right. 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. Calvin Blankenship. He is the winner of this giveaway. We are going to DM him live. It is 5:26 on Thursday. This will be posted on Saturday. We hope. So I will DM him right now on the Fratletes as proof, hopefully no longer than 5:27, that he is the winner. Once again, thank you guys. Almost just 100 followers more, and we will have giveaway number 2. But congratulations and thank you once again to everyone that has followed the account.
All right, you guys want to get into the NFC North?
Yeah. And at first, I thought this division was going to be really boring, and I think it's going to be the quite opposite of that, because I think no team is great. Like, yeah, the Packers got Aaron Rodgers, but I'm really excited to see who's the worst, whether it's going to be the Lions or the Bears.
Yes. All right. So let's do it like we did last week. Let's start with the Packers. Mancini, what you got for them?
I have the Packers. I still have the Packers winning the division, and I really wanted to take the Vikings, but as long as the Packers have Aaron Rodgers, I can't doubt them. If you look at their receiving core, though, I mean, why do they not help Aaron Rodgers?
They don't at all.
Allen Lazard is the number 1. Their number 2 is Sammy Watkins.
Mm-hmm. And I can attest he's trash.
It's just I don't feel bad for Aaron Rodgers, I guess, but I mean, I feel bad. Yeah, I do feel bad for Aaron Rodgers. What's the management doing? They don't draft a single receiver. They don't go after a single receiver in free agency. I mean, they got 2 loaded backs. They're gonna go dual backfield the whole time, because I can't take either one of those running backs in fantasy. One of the guys is going to be taking touches for the other, and What's the backup's name? He's a beast. I'm
Dillon.
running a blank. AJ Dillon. AJ
Yeah.
Dillon is the dude inside the 10-yard line is gonna score, but is he gonna? They put him in at the most.
Yeah.
You never know. You don't know if Aaron Jones is
Yeah.
gonna be in. You don't know if AJ Dillon's gonna be in. I got the Packers barely winning the division at 11-6.
That's actually really funny because that's the exact record I have for them, 11-6. Kind of for the same reason you said. Their offense, if no wide receiver scares you anymore. Devontae Adams was all they had in the receiving game. But you can't doubt Aaron Rodgers in this division. I mean, like, he's going to go out and he's going to win the division. I think it's going to be close, like you said, with them and the Vikings. But I don't see a way Aaron Rodgers loses this division. So I have him at 11-6 too. How about you, Hayden?
Yeah, I have the Packers winning it, but I also think that like the Packers and Vikings have it so easy because they have arguably two of the worst teams in the NFL in their division with the Bears and the Lions. Like I think if you put, especially the Vikings, you put them in any other division except maybe the NFC East, they would like be third or last. Like Kirk Cousins is so unpredictable, so inconsistent. He should be in prison for robbing that franchise of so much money. But yeah, I think the Packers win it just because of Aaron Rodgers. Like I doubted him last year, then he won MVP. So,
and that's the exact reason that I said with the Vikings is Kirk Cousins is just he's not going to win you a Super Bowl, dude. He's like he's not that guy. But he reminds me of, I guess, if he were to go on on the run like that, he's not a Hall of Famer. He's like a Nick Foles type.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like. He's not. He's so good at being average.
He is. I mean,
the Packers have a tough schedule, which is like I think the Vikings are going to be really close, and it's going to come down to the Packers just whooping on everyone inside the division.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to the Vikings. Where do we have them ending?
I think they got a lot more explosive offense, probably the most exciting offense in the league because of Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen and Dalvin Cook, not because of the quarterback, but simply because of the quarterback. I mean, if you put Aaron Rodgers on that team with that offense,
Yes.
how many games did they win? 14 in that division?
yeah.
That's what sucks. Like,
so I got the Vikings going 10-6. I think they're right behind the Packers, or 10-7. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, they're going to whoop on the division. I really think they might split with the Packers. I wouldn't be too surprised, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to schedule and quarterback. And I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be the guy that takes them to a division title.
Yeah. What do you think, Hayden?
Yeah, like I said, I think the Vikings are going to be second. Just like it's a shame because I hate Kirk Cousins so much that he's got so many good weapons around him. Like it's a shame that like their career is going to be tarnished and tanked a little bit just because he's the quarterback. But besides that, I think probably like 10-7, 9-8 type deal. I don't see it like being awful, especially when you get to play the Bears and the Lions twice. So.
I mean, I'm on the same page with you guys. I have them finishing at 9-8 just because, and it's so upsetting because, like you said, Nancy, their offense is so explosive. It's insane. And then you have the most mediocre quarterback possibly in NFL history. Like, isn't he like his career? He's like 50-50 career. Like he's like literally has a 500 win percentage. Like he's the definition of mid. He really is. And it's so sad. All right. So now let's move on to the old Bears, old Chicago, the Bears.
Dude, the most exciting matchup in this division isn't going to be the Packers or the Vikings or any team that they play. It's going to be the Bears versus the Lions because they're both going to be so bad. It's going to be like awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're muted, Hayden.
I said it's going to be a competition of who can score the least amount of points, honestly.
Literally.
I know, but I think against each other, like, they have talent, dude. The Lions' offense is not terrible.
But they're
they're not.
Their defense is really bad. But their offense is not terrible. And their coach, he has a bunch of dudes that will put their life on the line for that man. And his name's not coming to the top of my head right now. I'm not Dan Campbell. I'm not a stats guy. I'm not the most knowledgeable person in the world when it comes to this stuff. But I do know Bollinger. I do know ball.
I heard you don't.
No, you heard wrong. That's like the worst thing you can tell a man. That's like kicking him in the nuts. If you tell a man that he don't know ball, I'm gonna be down the rest of the week. I hope you know that. And it's a holiday weekend, so think before you speak next time. You're supposed to be my friend. Anyways, Dan Campbell.
I've been told I don't know ball, and like you're just like.
It's the worst feeling.
Where you get so mad.
Dude, I was sitting here just playing Xbox in a very, very intense competitive game, and I'm checking the group chat, and Ballinger's on his big ass rant about the Ravens again, per usual. And I'm not checking any stats. I'm playing Xbox, and all I see is him telling me, because I'm going on a rant about Joe Flacco and how he's average, how the Super Bowl was bullshit, whatever. He got carried by defense per usual. And all I see is, I actually know ball. I'm sitting here and I can't pause the game because I'm on a 3-minute timer. So I'm just like shaking in my boots right here. And the rest of the night, I was so annoyed. And I was just staring there at my ceiling because I wanted to keep the argument over when the game was over. But Ballinger went to sleep. So it was just like he went to bed all happy knowing he won. And I was just sitting there like in Fairly Odd Parents, like Dinkelberg. That was me. That was me. Zach was Dinkelberg.
I will admit, I woke up and I saw that you had like sent more stats in, and I was like, damn, I completely missed that.
Dude, like I said, I couldn't. Whatever. Dan Campbell.
There's so like few things I hate when like you want to keep arguing with somebody, but they just stop responding. You're like, come on, just say one more thing so I can just say my last part. You know what I'm saying? Like,
dude.
I want to keep going anytime someone disagrees with me.
Yeah, I knew it, dude. He tries to get me going, and he got me going, and it worked. And it really dug deep into me. It pissed me off yesterday.
I'm telling you, nothing gets the group chat going more than when the AFC North gets brought up. Every single time.
Because, dude, we got fans from the Browns, the Bengals, the Ravens, and the Steelers. Literally fans of every team are just, like, in there. And it's such a mosh pit, depending on what's going to happen. And Ballinger knows a lot of stats, and he knows a lot about the Ravens. I'll give him that. And the last 20 years, okay, cut me a break. I have the Reds and the Bengals. I'm aware they have not been great franchises, but I do have the Buckeyes. And I look forward to that. But I've spent all 22 years of my life being subpar in the NFL and in the MLB. And I'm aware of that. I'm very aware of that. I'm very aware there's no Lombardi trophy to look at. I'm very aware that we lost in the Super Bowl. I don't have a World Series appearance. I don't remember what it's like to be in the playoffs in the MLB. Okay? But let me enjoy the Bengals. Let me enjoy the Bengals while we're good. And it's like you said with the Orioles, the last 20 years were yours. The next 20 are mine. So that's what I got to say about that. Dan Campbell, let me get this out. The Lions are not going to be a bad team to watch this year. The Lions will not be a bad team to watch. They were fun to watch last year, and it felt bad for them after so long because everyone wanted to see him win, dude. And seeing Dan Campbell cry in the post-conference and just – it was sickening. And I love that he got another chance and got to build his team up a little bit because I think their offense can make some noise. I can't say too much about his defense.
I mean, the Ravens needed a 66-yard field goal to beat them. It was that's what was so demoralizing about the Lions is like every game they were in. Like they were in there was a few games like they got blown out, but like for the most part, they were in every game, and it was a dogfight.
They tied the Steelers.
Yeah, I can't believe they couldn't beat you guys.
So look, speaking of the Lions, while we're on the topic, I have the Lions going 6-11, which is good for them. That's not overachieving. That's not underachieving. I mean, if anything, that's a good year for the Lions. And I think they're going to enter. They didn't go quarterback this year because they're gonna go. I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted the number 1 pick to get the quarterback out of next year's draft. But that's another topic. I have them going 6-11. I think Lions fans are gonna be happy with this year.
I do too. I actually have the Bears and Lions both going 7-10. I think both of them. I think they split games with each other. I think they each split games with the Vikings just because I don't trust Kirk Cousins. 50% win percentage all time. Like the man loves to split games. That's what he's good at. And I think they like the Lions offense, like you were saying, is not bad. You have Williams, you have Swift. Unfortunately, you have Jared Goff. But Jared Goff has proven if you can build an offense around him, he's not the worst player in the world. Also got DJ Chark from the and TJ Hawkinson. Defense, horrible. It's going to be tough. But if you they're a quarterback away from being a pretty fun offense.
One guy you can't forget to mention, sorry, this is the last thing I'm going to say, St. Brown. Don't forget about St. Brown. He is good. He's really good.
Yep, I was just about to say, bro, Amon-Ra St. Brown, like, I drafted him late in the – actually, I picked him off waivers late in the fantasy football season. And then, like, right after I picked him up, it was, like, 20-point game, 30-point game, 25-point. Like, he went off. He single-handedly won me my fantasy football championship. Like, I've never had a fantasy football championship before this year, and it was because of him, 100%. He's a baller. Yeah, and I think it's a shame that as an Ohio State fan, you have to admit that Jeff Okudah has kind of underperformed as a corner. He was drafted 3 overall, thinking he'd be like the next Darrelle Revis, and he's just like, I don't hear anything about him. I don't know
he tore his Achilles, didn't he? Didn't he tear his Achilles?
Yeah, he was out for a while.
Yeah, but
he missed the whole season. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Even
he still played a whole season too, and like I didn't hear anything about him.
Yeah, he didn't do well. He really did not. But
this year is a rebound year. But yeah, I think if they win, if they win 5 or 6 games, it's not like a good year, but for them it's pretty good, and it's like an upward trend. I hope the Lions organization sticks with Dan Campbell, because he is like the first coach in a long time that like loves the Lions and like is all for them.
He wants the Detroit Lions to be good at football, and you can tell. And I feel like that's the best thing your coach can have, is like you genuinely are like, this dude wants to win football games here.
Yeah, and I think really that like teams have gotten accustomed to like getting rid of a coach in a year or 2 years. Like, you really got to stick with them. I would say like at least 4 or 5, like to really tell. I mean, look at Jimmy Johnson. He didn't perform well in the beginning. I mean, he had a horrible team. Yeah. And he slowly built up by drafting Michael Irvin, things like that. Like Tom Landry is a part of the Cowboys through the good and the bad. Like all that's like Don Shula through the good and the bad. Like, you got to stick with them. And I think teams need to stop just getting rid of them. Like having a high coaching carousel.
I agree.
This takes me to my Bears take. I'm wearing the Justin Fields. I have them going 4-13. I think they might have a top 3 pick in the draft, and it might not be number 3. Like, dude, they don't have a single weapon on offense. Justin Fields might get murdered. I'm worried about him. And it's just going to eat at the fact that no Ohio State quarterback is good in the NFL, and I hate that. I love Justin Fields. I want this dude to excel, and seeing how they don't even care at the blink of an eye to give him anything, it's just – I'm sorry. Those receivers they got out there are not it. None of them can get open. I could name one. Exactly. That was my next point. I couldn't name one.
No, it's Byron Pringle.
They always switch up running backs. Byron Pringle was the number 4 option in Kansas City.
He's their number 1. He's their number 1. I looked it up before.
That's our guy.
And like, I know they got a new GM and everything, but like, dude, I build franchises on Madden all the time. It's not that hard.
I will say something that gets me. I don't know why this always confuses me. I think because Tua's a left-handed quarterback, and I always think that Justin Fields, for some reason, is a left-handed quarterback, and I'll see a video of him throwing righty, and I'm like, holy shit, like he's a right-handed quarterback. That means nothing in this conversation, but I had to put that out there that for some reason my mind is convinced that Justin Fields is a left-handed quarterback, and I don't know why.
Fields is a freak athlete, and I would love him as my quarterback on the Bengals. I know, understand we have Joe Burrow. I'm not saying I'm not happy with him. I don't want that to change at all. But if situations were flopped, or Justin Fields would be a great quarterback to have if you get him some weapons, man. And I think he still has a bunch of potential. And I hope to God that if they are as bad as this, they don't give up on him this year, because maybe he gives up on Chicago, because that's not it, dude.
Yeah.
You can't set a guy up for failure. It's ridiculous.
I agree. I think, and that's why I have them at 7-10. I think Justin Fields and David Montgomery might just physically will that team. Like you said, they play the Lions. I think they might split with the Vikings, just because the Vikings love being mediocre. And like, I think they're going to find a way to get in that like 6 to 10 win range.
Hey,
Oh,
boys,
man.
give me a minute. My cat just took the fattest fucking shit in here. I need to let it air out, bro. Like, if you watch me, bro, like, she walked in and like just went right in the litter box and like just took a fat dump, and it smells bad. Give me a second. Hold up.
I was wondering,
dude, he was eyeing something. He was like,
I could see the concern on his face.
He was sniffing. Okay, that gives me time to DM Calvin back. He said, "Bro, no way. I have Venmo and Cash App both, though. I'll definitely shout y'all out." Cool. Let's get into the NHL, please.
Yeah. Okay, so for those of you, if you haven't seen on our Twitter, we have declared ourselves for the rest of the playoffs as huge Edmonton Oilers fans. And not only that, but since we have declared that, they have gone 1-0. Did Fratletes save Edmonton as a city? Possibly. We're not going to take credit yet, but the rumors are swirling.
Job's not finished. Job is not finished. And I would like to happily announce that was the first hockey game I've ever watched all 3 quarters through. It was better than any period.
You realize a quarter has to be at least 4.
Well, yeah, okay. I learned that there were 3 like 5 minutes ago. Well,
I think it was like 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, okay. Leave me alone, dude. Your cat just took a shit. All right.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, all 3 periods, since we're getting crazy here.
Honestly, the only reason I called you out on it is because I said the same thing like 2 days ago, and so like bitched me out, and I was like, okay, goddamn.
Oh, okay, yeah, you got your payback. All right, quarters, no periods, 3 periods. After 3 periods, better than any NBA playoff game I've watched so far. So far as in I'm done, and I think I'm done watching it because NHL is superior. NHL is superior. NBA has a lot to watch. I don't know how I didn't jump on this train earlier, but it was the most electric thing I've seen in months. And yeah, that might be sad to say, but listen, the Oilers are electric. I felt like I played all 3 quarters. Fucking periods, dude. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Don't say it. But I felt like I fought war out there.
I will say we have to bring up that at 10:57 during the game, it was 10:57 p.m., we announced that the Oilers were up 3-0 and have led since 1939 in the first. And then literally no less than 7 minutes later, the Oilers gave up 2 goals in 36 seconds. So we were the good luck, then we completely cursed them. And then we admitted to our mistake.
And still stayed faithful. Still stayed faithful.
Yeah.
Never a doubt.
There was never a doubt. Not a doubt in the world. It does. If you blow a 3-0 lead, that simply means that you just have the opportunity to win in dramatic fashion in the final minutes, and that's what the Oilers did. That's what we do.
There was a lot of goals. There was a lot of yeah, it's we now. We're part of them. Go Oil. Go
we
Oil.
Expect a ring.
The city of Edmonton. I just want you guys. They actually tweeted back at me when I announced that I was an Edmonton Oiler fan, and they said that the city is beautiful. I don't know if anybody saw that, but they did tweet at me. They had 50,000 followers, and they were like, "Hey, you should come check it out sometime." After battling war with my Oil, we are up 3-1 in the series. I'm 1-0 as an NHL fan. I might be the lucky charm. this is my offering to you guys that I will be out there on the ice. I don't know how to skate, but I will try, and I will hold that trophy with you guys. I mean, I don't think that's too much to ask. As I'm just saying, you guys are undefeated since I've joined. We're going to close out the series tonight. I think we do it
Over.
from a gambler's point. What about going up 3-0 early in the first? I'm talking about if you were like an Oiler bettor. Going up 3-0, going down to tie it 3-3, going into the third period. There you go, Hayden. Third period, 3-3, and so it wasn't a blowout. All the main guys are still playing, so all your hopes are back up. All the emotions are going. You don't know who's going to win. If you're a live bettor, that was a great opportunity. Even if you took both sides, like. It was a great game to watch, and it was better than any blowout I've seen in the NBA so far. And I will be watching hockey again tonight as the Oil look to take down the Calgary Flames.
Yeah, when you hear this, the Oilers will be getting ready to play the Colorado Avalanche in the conference finals. So just prepare yourself, please.
Yeah. So as you are hearing this on Saturday, the Oil have probably won by close to 4 goals. And it's probably going to be a bloodbath out there. The Oil are just here. They're here.
I honestly forgot it was game day, and we have 3.5 hours. I should probably get up and start stretching. I didn't know that we had 3 more periods to go after tonight. So
yeah, for everyone who says Fratletes don't know hockey, look at us now. We are
now
practically on the squad. So now let's go over to the most boring playoffs in the history of literally anything that is playoffs. That is the NBA playoffs.
Dude, don't sound too excited. I don't even want to talk about them. It's boring.
Bad.
The Heat lost 93-80, 80 points in 2022.
Dude, these are 2004. These are 2004 totals. You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
They're acting like they're playing the bad boy Pistons out there, dude. This is insane.
It's hard to watch.
Nothing is exciting. And what have I told you guys about the Eastern Conference since we've started this podcast? Take the under in every game. You probably would have made a solid profit so far if you would listen to me.
Without a doubt. And I mean, we were talking about this before the podcast, before filming. The Celtics have won 16 of the 20 total quarters so far in the series, and somehow it's 3-2. It's just the Celtics are dominating. Then the Heat have one insane quarter twice and get 2 wins. And besides that, it's just kind of like one team's up by 20. Okay, that's going to keep going the rest of the game. And then you look over at the Western Conference, the Warriors are just like playing with their food. It's tough to watch. I mean, besides last game when the Mavs almost blew like a 30-point lead, the Warriors are just sitting there and they're like, we're just going to simply win by 30 this game. And then they go do it. And they're playing with their food, and then they're just stepping on their throats in the fourth. It's tough to watch.
As someone who doesn't like have a dog in this fight, I really could care less who wins. I love trolling, and whichever team loses or even wins, like I love to go after Steph Curry. It is came after me. Like I don't want him to win because I don't want him to have as many rings as LeBron, as a LeBron guy. But Steph Curry notoriously cannot close out a series on his first try.
No.
And it is so fun to go after Curry fans and get them all riled up because just calling him out about how he can't close out a series. And he proved himself again, getting blown out by 30, having bench players have to play the entire fourth to make it a 10-point game with 4 minutes left for them. I think he had a minus 25 plus minus.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, leave him off the court at this point. He got outplayed by a man named Kuminga. I couldn't even tell you his first name. I mean, LeBron would never.
Just both series suck. Like, let's just say it like it is. It's both games. I feel like, if not in the first quarter, by halftime, you know exactly who's going to win. You I mean, besides the one insane third quarter the Heat had, like, it was still a blowout in the first 2 quarters. Then the Heat blew them out by so much that they ended up blowing them out in the game. And it's just like it's bad basketball if you're like a fan without a dog in the fight. Like, if you have a dog in the fight, I'm sure it's fun because, like, hey, your team either plays super well or super bad. But if you don't care, like, this is why do you tune in?
If you're fans of the team, congrats. You're still here. It's like you're the polished turd in the toilet. It's like what are you? This isn't exciting. I had more fun watching Justin Thomas come back in the PGA Championship on Sunday than any of these games. It's just, and golf is electric. I could go on about golf, but that's not what we're here for. But the NBA playoffs is boring.
It ain't been the same since the Timberwolves left. I've tried to tell everybody.
Dude, you need a LeBron or KD and Steph Curry.
Anthony Edwards, yeah.
If Steph Curry isn't hitting threes, he's just any other player on the court, dude. I'm sorry.
He just runs around. Like, that's something that Curry, like, always does. Like, everyone's always like, his movement without the ball is insane. But, like, when he's not hitting shots, you just watch Steph Curry run around the court for like 40 minutes a game and just throw up bricks because he takes the same contested shots.
What if we made an edit? And I think about this all the time, dude. What if we just like edited out like certain players or the actual ball and it just looks like people are running around for no reason on the court? What if we just edited like everybody off the court except for Steph Curry and just like watch him run around like a madman? Like, wouldn't that be hilarious? I think about this quite often.
Dude, I am openly praying for Steph Curry's downfall, bro. Like, it's not that I don't like him, but it's for some reason so fucking fun to hate on him and like his whole family. Like, his wife sucks, like his daughters. Like, remember when it was like cute, and then everyone was like, you know what? Fuck that baby Curry. Like, everyone like turned on her so fast, bro. I don't know why, but dude, it's so fun to hate on Steph Curry and everyone involved. Like, it's so funny when everyone's like, he's blah 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 blah, and you go, hey man, he has as many NBA Finals MVPs as you and I do, and then they just like fall apart.
Curry fans go into shambles when you bring up the MVP and Finals MVP discussion, because then they start going off about the like, oh no, he should have won this year. It's like, no, he shouldn't have. Like,
dude, if we're playing that narrative, LeBron James should have 7 MVPs. Yeah, I mean regular season MVP, not even finals. If we're going, he should have won it this year, LeBron should have had one over James Harden, should have had one in 2015, one in 20. He should have multiple. And he was on like a 10-year span where he had an argument for winning the MVP. And that's just ridiculous.
I saw a graphic where it was like every year they compared like the season the MVP had, the season LeBron had, and his numbers like all big 3 categories were better. So like, why didn't he not win an MVP?
I think speaking about this, let's get into the NBA All NBA teams this year. They came out, and speaking about LeBron, the first thing that jumped out to me was who were the 2 dudes who voted LeBron James onto the All NBA first team. Like, do I think he has an argument for the second team? Absolutely. But what 2 guys looked at the rest and were like, LeBron had a better season than them?
See, I'm with you on that. And I hate, as much as I love to debate, I hate critiquing greatness. Like, I don't like debating greatness, dude. Just appreciate it. Obviously, I have favorite players, but I will be the first one to tell you LeBron shouldn't have been for All NBA first team this year. He had a lot of great games. He was, I think he's going after the scoring title, obviously, which is what he really has on his mind because he knew his season was over. But he didn't deserve to be first team. I'll give him second team, but he was also battling injuries.
He could have been second team.
A bunch of these guys on the All NBA list were battling with injuries and were out a certain amount of the season. So it's hard to look at it and really tell, in my eyes. If I wanted to break it down and go to games played and minutes and team record and all that, I could, but I don't have the time of the day to do that. So before I give my take, I want you guys to break down what more takes that you have on the first, second, and third team before I get into something.
Hayden, what are you? Because my biggest thing was I think the biggest argument is going to come between Jokic and Embiid because only one center could make it. They obviously gave it to Jokic. He's MVP. But I feel like those two were super exchangeable in that. I mean, obviously, like we said, Jokic won MVP. He was going to make – if you win MVP and you don't make All-NBA first team, there's a flaw in the system. So he was a shoo-in once he beat Embiid for MVP. But if you look at them, they're super exchangeable in that. How about you, Hayden?
Yeah, I have two things. One, like I really like looked at it that much. Like when I looked at it originally, I wasn't like that like an uproar. But apparently people are pissed. Dude, Ryan Carruthers, shout out Ryan, texted me and he was like, "Hey, you guys covering this all NBA bullshit?" And I was like, probably, yeah. What's going on, man? He tried to call me and I was like, I'm at work. What has got you so heated? And he was just like, dude, I just gotta call you later. I gotta call him back. I never did. But I just thought it was like it's crazy, but people are pissed off. It's probably about LeBron. Wait, no, I thought you said LeBron. Never mind. You were talking about how LeBron wasn't on like, any team.
He's
no,
on third
LeBron
team.
was All NBA third, but two people voted for him to be on All NBA first.
Right, that's what I misunderstood. I was looking at the first team. I was like, I swear they just said he was on first team. You got it.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I was gonna say two. I wonder because like now that Karl Anthony Towns, I mean I've always said he's top 3 big man. Figure he's probably 2 behind. I always said Embiid, and then I always just thought of somebody else. But Jokic makes sense. But like, so I think he is top 3. But I wonder if any of this like somehow ties because now he's eligible for a supermax contract, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like, I wonder if like say for example, if the NBA was like, hey, pull some strings because they want him to stay in Minnesota to kind of grow that market, or if agent is working with writers who like vote for the award, or is it the writers vote or is it players vote?
Yeah, it's writers and analysts because Jalen Rose was the only person to give Kyrie Irving a vote.
So yeah, so maybe it's like an agency and writers deal where like the writers will make him third team, and then the agent will also give them his leaks kind of deal. Like we know that happened with like Adam Schefter and shit like that.
Oh yeah,
so
no, 100%.
I'm always thinking like deeper, and I thought like he definitely is third team, but I wonder how much was inspired by him getting that supermax contract.
Agent makes more money if he signs more, for more money. So that's another thing. But Sini, I know you got a pretty hot take you want to throw out there.
Dude, here's my take. And I don't even know if this is that hot. I want to know what you guys think, though.
I don't think it is.
Do you think all NBA team, the second team beats the first team in a game of 5-on-5? So the first team, you got. I'm trying to go from point guard here. Okay, you got Luka, Devin Booker, Giannis, Jason Tatum, and Jokic. And then the second team is Steph Curry, Ja Morant, DeMar DeRozan, KD, and Joel Embiid. I think the second team works team one. Absolutely works them.
Bro, I had the same thought when I saw it too. That's crazy.
Team 3 is whack. I ain't really give it a look, but
I think the second team
and LeBron, but the second team is literally like the All NBA partially injured team because all these guys sat out for a little bit of time throughout the year, who probably would have had a really good argument for first team and probably a significant more amount of votes if they had stayed healthy.
Yeah, bro. Putting Embiid and DeRozan down low is unfair. On top of having KD and Steph like have the absolute best chemistry they did in Golden State, and then you also have Ja Morant like flying from the rafters whenever you need him to. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just like you can't stop that team.
That's a great team. DeMar DeRozan was the best player in basketball the first 3 months of the season, right?
That was a wild.
Wasn't he on an absolute tear?
When DeMar DeRozan put up MVP numbers solely shooting the mid-range, that was like you felt like you were in the 80s. Like the man cooked
Bulls fans were all over the place.
Man was hitting mid-rangers, and that one game, didn't he go 14 for 14 or something? Like he just was insane. Doesn't shoot threes. He just keeping the mid-range alive, like Sean Livingston. Just a bunch of dudes who love the mid-range.
I don't know. I didn't think too deep on the All NBA. It's not that I don't want to say that I'm going apart from the NBA. I know I boycotted them earlier in the season, but I mean, it's just they need to do something, man, because you see the NFL's coming with a Christmas schedule now. That is going to tank the NBA. The NBA
That's like
is
the
in
NBA's
shambles.
biggest day, and now the NFL just straight up took it.
Dude, yeah,
And
I
it's
always
not
like
even-
I always loved like when I saw like the Steelers schedule. And if it said they played on Christmas Day, like that was the best. That was my favorite. Like when the Steelers sorry, Zach, when the Steelers beat the Ravens where Antonio Brown like the extension, that was either Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. And like
It was
on
Christmas
top of-
Day.
Yeah. So like it being on Christmas was awesome. But like I always get excited. So now there's like a
his face. He's so hurt.
There's like a Christmas schedule at the end, bro. I'm so amped. This is better than Thanksgiving. Well, I don't know about that.
Did you go to walk that day, Zach?
Yeah, that's the day I went on that 2-hour walk because I just had to clear my mind.
On Christmas? Did you tell me it was on Christmas?
No, I can't even. The fam was together to watch some old Ravens football on Christmas. Vibes were high. Winner went to that was the other thing. It was winner won the division, loser was out of the playoffs. And it was like,
man.
So it was winner go home. And I just remember sitting there when he got that ball because the Ravens scored like on the drive before to take the lead. Kyle Juszczyk,
dude.
He
was so fucking cocky that game, bro. I'll never forget.
Dude, I have grown. I'm sorry, Zach. I've grown a hatred for the Ravens I've never knew I had, dude. I never knew I had it. And it is because of fans like you. It's because of diehards. And I swear to God, I love you to death. I love you to death. But good Lord, you get going about the Ravens, and I think I hate it because everything you have is facts. Everything that you say is facts. Like, I understand that. I'm not saying you don't know shit, but I have so much hate for the Ravens now that it was just like I said, dude, it was just like football was just a great time. I used to be a huge fantasy guy. I liked the Bengals, but I was never like we were bad. I understood we were bad. I never looked forward to football season because I knew we were going to be bad. But now we're good. And the Ravens, I can't stand them. I can't stand the Steelers, and I would rather have the Steelers beat the Ravens. And
it's one of those. It's like us with the Yankees in baseball. I hate the Yankees, but I hate them because when they argue and they bring up all the facts, it's like, you're right. Like, I have nothing to argue, but at the same time, like, I'm still gonna argue.
I hate the Yankees almost as much as I hate Michigan. But Baltimore, the Ravens aren't there yet. They might get there if this keeps up and we continue this, but I really, really despise the Yankees.
My stepdad's a Browns fan, and he grew up a Browns fan, so he was like 30-something when they moved to Baltimore. So like now he has the Browns back. I think anytime it's like the Ravens versus the Bengals, or mainly the Ravens versus Steelers, I'm like, James, like, who you rooting for, buddy? He's like, I'm rooting for a comet to hit the stadium and everybody to die. And I'm like, all right, man, sounds good.
Sounds good.
I'm like, it's gonna be a fun game then. I'll bet the under.
Man.
It's when the Steelers and Bengals play, I always send out the tweet, and I'm like, I simply hope neither team has fun. Like, I hope both teams just have a miserable time out there.
All right, I want to get into this question that I have for you guys. Have we cleared everything we need on the beautiful NBA, the most exciting NBA season and playoffs we've ever seen?
Oh yeah, unfortunately.
All right, so here's my question for the group. I want you guys to tell me an alcoholic beverage that you will absolutely never drink again. Maybe it even makes you cringe when you think about it, and why. I want a story behind it because I've got a pretty good one, and I know everyone's got some story out there between a drink that they will absolutely never touch again. And I think you guys are two guys that would have some pretty good stories behind that. So let me hear them.
Hayden, I think you should kick this off. You're hyping up your story.
I'll lead off. So I was a senior in high school, and
That's how it
So
starts.
so my thing was like in high school, like I never really partied, never drank, never smoked. Like I swear, like people don't believe that when I say so. Like I was super like clean because I played sports every season, so like I didn't want to get in trouble to where I couldn't play sports. So
Yeah.
that's the main thing. So but like after football senior year, like I played tennis for fun in the spring semester. Like I would come hungover to practice on Saturdays. So like it's like after football senior year, like I kind of let loose a little bit, and I was at a party, and I think I'm almost positive I had just been dumped like 2 weeks before, so I was fighting demons, bro. So
Yeah.
I went to this party, and I never really went out to parties, especially when there's alcohol involved. But I went to this party, and I was playing pong. I didn't really have anything to drink because I didn't know how to get alcohol. And there was this bottle of Bombay Sapphire, and it was like full. And I was like, "Ooh, like Bombay rappers sing about that. That must be really good." So I took the bottle, and I was like, "Hey, whose Bombay is this?" And I yelled it across the entire party, across the entire party. I was like, "Whose Bombay is this?" And nobody said anything. And then someone's like, "Hey man, I guess it's yours now." And I was like, "I guess so." So I was playing pong and like drinking it just straight out of the bottle, just drinking it and playing pong. I think I played 3 games, so it was like 40 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. And at one point, I like took a drink and it was like empty, like it was gone. And I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I drank the whole thing, and I was like, "That's not good. Like I'm gonna be fucked." And like, the next thing I remember, I'm like puking in the toilet and like pass out in the bathroom. My buddy like, slaps me in the face and wakes me up, and he's like, "Hey, the cops are coming. We gotta go." So like, you ever been passed out drunk and then you wake up and it's like the worst feeling in the entire world because you're like hungover and sober and drunk, and it's like you're battling every demon you could think of.
And you have no clue what just happened.
Yeah. So we run upstairs, and I'm so drunk I can't see, and I get into his car, and we had to pull over 3 times before we left the neighborhood because I had to stop and throw up. And then he's like, "Dude, this has to be the last time because if I pull over again, someone's gonna pull me over. Like, a cop's gonna be behind us. Like, we gotta go." So we went to my buddy's house. We literally somehow I made it down basement stairs and I didn't fall. I just like fell on the floor, passed out, woke up at like 10 in the morning, and I didn't have a hangover or anything. Yeah, it was crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Zach, you want to
That,
go next?
yeah, that
Hey, you're really good at telling stories, dude. I love when you tell a good story, bro. I can
Thanks,
sit there and
man.
just listen. I feel like I'm in first grade and they brought out a new book that I haven't heard yet. And I'm just like, hell yeah, Sam did have green eggs and ham. Yes, he did.
Yeah, I love telling stories. I take great pride in it.
oh yeah.
You should.
That's being a good storyteller is like one of the best compliments you can get. Like
Dude,
when
the best
people,
thing, the best compliment you can get is when you're with a group of people and it's like they reflect on something that happened and you were there and they look at you and they're like, "Hey, you tell the story. You tell it best." And I'm
Yes,
just
that's
like,
the best
I'm like,
feeling.
let me take this real quick.
Yeah, when they're like, "Hey,
Yeah.
yo, you tell it," you're like, I mean, you feel like
Okay, all
you
right.
feel like
I guess
LeBron
I
or Jordan
will.
checking in. Like you're like, okay, like here we go, get the vest off. But mine's not as good as that. But Admiral Cherry for me is the
Oh,
that's the
that's
goal.
mine too. That's mine
yes,
too.
because and I
Continue, go. I got a good
because
story.
our freshman year, for some reason, our friend group had an obsession with Admiral Cherry. Like you would
Because it's
walk in.
$8. It's because it's $8.
And it's delicious.
It's not bad.
Whoa,
It tastes
not
like Dr.
anymore.
Pepper. Yeah, not anymore, but it used to taste like Dr. Pepper. Go ahead. Sorry.
It literally. So you know how like when you have a favorite drink, and like so we would always get it, whatever, and it's like 8, 10 straight weekends of getting Admiral Cherry, and then one day it's a nice day out. You know the boys are looking for something to do. We're like, let's do like a beer Olympics almost sort of, but like let's also have this thing of Admiral Cherry that each team has to like get rid of before like it's over. Well, my team is just like down horrendously. And so I'm like, I have to finish this like 3/4 bottle of Admiral Cherry in like 45 seconds to a minute before we lose this game. So I'm like, oh boy. So I'm like, I'm going to take one for the team. It hits my tongue, and suddenly every part of me that ever liked Admiral Cherry, I felt it leave my body. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm just trying to body it. And I remember I put it down, and I just ran away. And I was like, I got to go. Ran past every bathroom, everything, ran straight outside to the porch. And the worst part is I'm sitting there, and I'm just puking off this porch. And there is a party next door. And that's the worst, because then everyone's looking at you, and they're cheering. And they're like trying to hype you up. And you're like, this is the worst thing in the world. And I remember sitting there, and I was like, I will never have Admiral Cherry again. And every once in a while, someone will buy it and be like, yo, you want a sip of this? And I'm like, there is zero chance in hell I'm taking a sip of that Admiral Cherry.
Dude, go ahead, Aiden.
I fucking love Admiral Cherry. I've thrown up because of it multiple times, but I still keep coming back to it. I can't find it anywhere in Columbus. I've been to the worst parts of Columbus, the liquor stores, and I cannot find it. The only place I can get it is Huntington, and I've gotten Bailey, my wife's family, I've gotten them all hooked on it. I'm going down next weekend because I'm DJing a wedding, and they're giving me orders of lists. They want me to get 4 bottles of it so they can try it and have it, especially for vacation. Yeah,
dude, it's cheap,
cool.
and I fully understand it. It's not like it's bad, dude, but yeah, I'm the same way as Zach. I'm never ever drinking it again. Mine was a Thursday night, $8 bottle of Cherry Admiral. I couldn't tell you it was a social, and that's all I could tell you is that there was an event going on that night, and I drank that entire bottle, and I don't have any memory of what happened. However, it was on a Thursday, and I was a freshman, first semester, and on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I had a 9 a.m., a 10 a.m., and 11 a.m. And I wake up in the backyard at about 10:30 a.m. and I have an exam at 11 in my 11 a.m. I've already missed my first 2 classes. They're out the window. And I was perfectly okay with that, but I am very intoxicated when I woke up. I mean, I don't have my phone. I don't have my wallet. I'm in the yard, for Christ's sake. I don't know where I'm just like, okay, I'm going in my same clothes. I'm tripping all over the place on my way to class. Don't have a book bag. Don't have a pencil. Don't have anything. And Malachi Brown, our guest on the last show, was also in this class. It was a media arts class. It wasn't the most important thing in the world, but I was a pretty good student. I was like Hayden, dude. I never drank in high school. I never did anything because I had sports, and my main sport was baseball. And we went to the Final Four my senior year, so it went into the summer. So I literally never drank throughout high school, and I was the same way. Didn't want to get in trouble, whatever. But so you go in as a freshman, dude. You got it's like you can finally spread your wings. You're no one's watching over you. You can do what you want. I went balls to the wall and obviously thought that I was I'm in the majors when I'm still in single A, and it's just so I go to take this exam. And I wasn't doing too great in the class. Like I said, I didn't get C's. I was never a C student. I was always A's and B's. And I hadn't done well in the first 2. I hadn't done great. And I was hanging on by a 78, and I really wanted to get a B. And I'm taking this exam pissed drunk, dude. And I'm fucking going through it so quick because I'm just drunk. I'm like Hayden said, I feel like shit, but I'm still hammered, and I'm just zooming. I'm I don't care. Just get me to my dorm room so I can go to bed. Get me back here so I can find my phone. I'm tapping Malachi beside me. I'm text him, trying to figure out where my phone's at. They end up finding all my shits in a bush that apparently I jumped in 8 times the night before. Just we've all been there. We've all been there. Apparently I'd gone through a table this night. I had gone in the same bush. Apparently I was just getting up and jumping in the bush repeatedly. It wasn't just a one-time thing. It was it's you teach your kid a new trick, and he's like, you want to see me do it again? I'm just jumping in the bush, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it again, guys. I'm that freshman everybody's fucking with, and I'm just throwing my body on the line everywhere. Anyways, I passed the exam, did better on that exam than I had on any of the previous ones, and it actually got me a low B in the class while taking it extremely intoxicated and reading half the questions. So I don't know if this is me telling you to start taking your exams intoxicated, but do with that information as you wish.
Yeah, moral of the story, just like become an alcoholic.
The story. You're not an alcoholic until you graduate. Oh, yeah, that class. I know exactly what class you're talking about. Every single one was in the morning, always on Fridays, and it was nights after socials were brutal. And like the professor would call you out on it. Like he was a cool guy, but he'd walk up and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I see someone's still in the same clothes from last night." And it's like,
Yeah,
it's
like
a tough
me every
season.
Friday. I'm that guy. Hey,
Yep.
I'm your guy. Oh man. So what are we thinking about rakes and takes this week, man? It's a long MLB season. It's really hard to keep up with all the games going on.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of just saying this because I completely forgot to do one.
I'll give an overall rake for us again because
Beautiful.
I love this. On a podcast earlier today, Kevin Gaussman talked about how, like, back in 2012, they used to drug test for marijuana only minor leaguers that weren't on the 40-man roster. So if you made the 40-man roster, you no longer had to get drug tested for marijuana. And you didn't have, if you were on the majors, they didn't test for it. So he said, he was like, if we would have been able, now apparently once you're like signed, they don't test for it, nothing. But he said back in 2012, it was like extra motivation. Like, hey, if you want to smoke pot, make the 40-man roster. And because he was in the Orioles organization at the time, and he was like, if I would have been able to smoke pot in Bowie, Maryland, because there's nothing else to do, he was like, I do not think I would have made it to the majors. He was like, I would have just been high the entire time. And he was on this podcast just blitzed. He was like, just openly, because they don't test for it. They don't care. So I feel like overall rake for the MLB is finally letting the minor leaguers smoke a little pot. So
I have a rake too, actually. I have a rake too, and it is my fantasy baseball team. I feel like in Step Brothers right now. He's like, oh, you manage a baseball team? Oh, little league, fantasy league. Yeah, I manage the Ding Dongers, and the Ding Dongers are the hottest team in fantasy baseball right now. You can ask Zach. We are on fire. We started off 0-3, pen and paper. My team is loaded, and like I said, all my takes are usually based off who's doing bad. I don't have anyone doing bad. We do nothing but dong. We're on a 3-game win streak. We have hit so many homers. Mookie Betts is insane. Nolan Arenado is insane. How did I get all these guys? I don't know. I know ball. That's how. That's how, Zach. I know ball. Anyways, the Ding Dongers are my rake of the week, and we're going to keep raking. Eric Bogus, shout out. That is my victim this week, and I'm going to put it to you.
All right, so should we move on to our final little segment?
Well, I didn't do my rakes nor takes.
Oh, yeah.
You sons of bitches.
And the Reds dropped 20 today. What's up?
Who they play?
The Cubs.
Oof.
Suck it, Cubbies.
So the Reds beat the Cubs by 20 when the Cubs beat the Pirates by 21. So does that mean the Reds beat the Pirates by 40?
Well, the Reds won 20-5. So they won by 15.
Oh, okay.
So you only lost to them by 35.
But then you got to put in
35. That's not bad.
You got to put in the factor that the Reds threw a no-hitter and lost to the Pirates 1-0. So that's probably like minus 35 for the Reds. So technically, I think we lost by 20.
We're about even right now.
Yeah, it's about even.
All right,
Yeah,
so
we'll call it
my rakes are honestly this is actually a real baseball one, even though I don't really know much about baseball. My rakes are the New York Mets, just because like they're on an upward trend. Like they're actually kind of good this year. And like as a fan from afar, I don't really know much about baseball, but I just like feel like the Mets, like when they're like really good, baseball's fun. And that kind of stems from those 80s teams where like of like say there's 20 people in the locker room, like 25 of them were addicted to some drug. So like they were just like insane. Like they said that after the World Series, they basically totaled the airplane from the inside because they partied so hard inside. Like cases upon cases of like beer being drank, like drugs being done, sex being had. Like it was crazy, bro. Like they got like the Mets got a bill from Boeing for like, hey, you owe us this fucking new plane. And and he was like, the owner was like to the players, like, you guys are paying for this, and they were like, absolutely not, and they never paid a dime, bro.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I will admit when the Mets and Yankees are good, I hate it. But like when both New York teams are doing well, baseball kind of feels like that's how it should be because they
I think
spend the
baseball's
most.
awesome. Baseball's awesome when the Yankees suck.
Well, yeah, no, it's so
I
much fun
hate
when
the
the Yankees
Yankees.
suck.
I
Yeah.
hate saying that word. I hate watching them play. I hate them. Anyways,
My takes is the Grim Reaper because he took Ray Shoeless Joe Jackson Liotta away from us today. Ray Liotta from Goodfellas, but said he's also Shoeless Joe Jackson in Field of Dreams, arguably the best baseball movie of all time. So just it's really, really sad. He's one of my favorite actors. Lots of movies, especially Goodfellas, but like I said, Field of Dreams is a classic as well. So fuck you, Grim Reaper.
Yeah. That and Sandlot, I think, are the two. Like that's what when you
Oh,
think
yeah.
of good baseball movies, those are the two that's up there. Field of Dreams and Sandlot, like they don't get much better than those two baseball movies.
Yeah, dude, my first date with my wife, we watched The Sandlot.
Hell of
you're off to a good start. Off to
Yeah,
a great
bro.
start.
It was a sign.
all right, so my random athlete of the day, Paul Richardson, played for the Seahawks from 2014 to 2017. Literally in his first 3 years, put up a combined second-round pick, put up a combined 500 yards. Then his last year, he gets pretty decent, or sorry, his first 3 years puts up 500 yards. Fourth year puts up 700, has 2 huge catches in the Super Bowl, and everyone was like, hold up, maybe this guy is like decent. That offseason, the Washington Commanders signed him to a 5-year, $40 million contract, and he was cut after 2 years.
Damn.
How much is guaranteed?
12.5, and then he got a $10 million signing bonus.
Oh.
That is so. That's if any organization were to do that, it'd be the Commanders.
Oh, actually, total guarantees were 16.5 mil, and then the signing bonus was 10. So
dude, those stories.
he got 26
guaranteed. I love it when franchises get fucked. Like not my franchise, obviously, but when other franchises
when others
get fucked. When others do, bro, then it's funny as shit.
It's funny to watch.
The Raiders are really good at cutting their first round draft picks.
Really good.
Yeah, really good at it.
It's like when they sent Jamarcus Russell home with a blank tape, and then they asked him what was on it, and he was like, yeah, I was really focusing on the pass coverage on this one. And they're like, there is simply nothing on this tape. And then I realized he had never watched any of the film that they gave him.
That was awesome. Oh, so Zach, I did find out that last week's word of the day is actually pronounced kibosh. I was right.
Oh, really?
Dude, when you look at it, it looks like kibosh, but like they pronounce it real slow. Unless all these like robots on Google are wrong. But to keep the definition short and sweet, it means to decisively end or I mean we got it, but that's not my word of the day. It's decisively end or reject something. So kibosh, how I used it in a sentence. If there's any feds out there watching this, I am completely ratting myself out and I apologize. But I have been driving under illegal tags the last couple of days, or expired tags, which I guess are illegal, yeah. But my tags expired a couple days ago, right? And I'm trying to get it figured out. But you guys know how insane BMVs are, and they're the worst thing in the world. And try to do it online, and it's like I'm a pretty technological person, dude, but this is absolute rocket science for me. So this is bringing a lot of stress, and it would be a great kibosh if it could get those tags to renew and put on my car and end the stress that I'm having. So that leads me to my next word of the day. It is benevolent. Yes, I'm pronouncing that right. Benevolent. This is a kind of an easy one for all those people that are trying to expand their vocabulary like myself. This just means to be kind. Just be kind to others. Be kind or generous. Benevolent. Beautiful. Use it in a sentence this week. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Father's Day. Father's Day coming up. Be benevolent.
I like that.
Thank
Be
you.
benevolent.
Thank you. That was from the heart. I feel like I just tried out for a Romeo and Juliet part.
Be benevolent.
Oh, thanks, Hayden. Hayden, my favorite part, Hayden's hot corner. Give me it.
All right. So basically, I read that in Wimbledon, which is like that big tennis match thing, it's illegal to swear. Like you can't curse, or it's like I don't think they give you a penalty like at the time, but they fine you like 10 grand per word. And since like it's such a diverse sport, the judges have to they get a book and they have to learn every swear word in like every different language. They have to like practice and memorize which ones like mean what. So they have to like constantly monitor. Oh, Korean and a Swedish lady are playing. I gotta like pull to those pages and like hear what they're saying and make sure they're not cursing. And that's crazy. That's way above my pay grade if I'm a tennis ref.
Yeah.
How much they get
Could you
paid?
imagine?
My bad. I thought you mentioned that. My bad.
Let me look.
Could you imagine if they did that in the NFL?
Zach, while we're waiting, how's our YouTube doing?
We are up to over 160 total views and 24.7, round up 25 hours of watch time. So means people have spent over a whole day watching us talk about this stuff, which is kind of crazy because, like we said, we're doing this for fun. And so let's double that this week. Actually, let's get 20 hours of watch time on this one. Let's just bump these numbers up. Keep going.
Those are
For
rookie
you that
numbers.
listen, follow the Twitter. Exactly.
Yep.
Just go ahead, click the subscribe. Are we doing a giveaway for YouTube subscribers? That is the question.
Let's do it.
I don't do YouTube very well. I'm sure I could if I tried, but can you view like who subscribes to you?
Yeah, we have. Yes. Yep,
okay. So yeah, that's perfect. Do we want to do 100 subscribers on YouTube?
Yep. Let's do it. Yeah, down right here.
First objective: 100 subscribers on YouTube. Another $50 gift card giveaway. Or if it's easier for you, we Venmo or Cash App. It's that easy. It is within you.
Literally that
It is
easy.
within your bank account in seconds. We DM you. Calvin Blankenship, you have already probably received your payment by the time you're hearing this. Not probably. You will have received your payment by the time you're receiving this. It's that easy, guys. Next goal on Twitter, 250 followers. We're 100 followers away. Tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dog, tell whoever you want. We're having fun doing this, and we don't plan on stopping. College football, NFL is right around the season. We plan on doing 2 episodes a week. We're going to stay busy, and we're going to keep providing content. We've got merch that is going to be coming out. It's going to be coming.
It's coming.
And we're working hard. We're in the lab cooking up some good T-shirts, stuff that we want to wear because we want you guys to wear it. We're not going to half-ass it and put out some stupid shirts that nobody wants to wear, and we're not going to sit here and beg you guys to wear them out. We want you to wear stuff that you want. And that's what we've been working on, and we think we got a good group of minds that are going to get that out there.
This is what we do.
All right, everyone. Thanks again for tuning in to episode 5. We'll see you guys next week.
See you boys, episode 6.